And good day, welcome. This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. I'm Jerry Usher along with Debbie Georgiani. Welcome to the program today. And I am happy to be back with you. And I just want to take a moment to sincerely thank all of those of you who have been praying. First of all for my sister Mary and for our family. Mary died peacefully and very beautifully, actually, yesterday morning, right about 6 o'clock Pacific time. That's why I wasn't on the show with Debbie yesterday. And so I just want to thank you all so much. It was, like I say, it was tragic. It was sad. We're all very heavy and feeling the loss right now, but your prayers have helped to keep us afloat, and again, it was very beautiful. She opened her eyes, and her husband Larry was looking into her eyes and caressing her cheeks and bid her a loving farewell. And so we're planning the funeral right now, and appreciate your continued prayers, and just thank you for tuning in today, Debbie. I know you and so many others have been praying, and so just very, very grateful for all of that.
Well, our hearts are with you and your entire family, Jerry, and I think you know that by now with all the prayers and comments that are coming in, and we're glad to hear your voice, and we're glad that you're back, and we pray that there's continued just that peacefulness you're talking about and healing, and just all of you get through the grieving process together. And it sounds like your whole family's come together, and that's a wonderful thing. Not everybody gets to experience that wonderful family support, Jerry. So I think you know this. You're very blessed. So,
well, we are, and we thank God for that. And life does go on, of course. And I just want to assure all of those of you who are listening, those who have been praying for us, that Mary really did. She embraced her cross, and she set the bar high for at least for those of us in our family, how to turn adversity into triumph, and how to really die with dignity. So we had a tough act to follow there, and she was offering what she went through for all of you and for all of us. So, and I've been praying. I prayed my rosary and my chaplet for the Take Two family last night, that you would be blessed for your generosity in supporting us. So, but we got a topic today, Debbie, that a lot of people have weighed in on Facebook already, and I look forward to hearing what our listeners share by phone and text.
Yes, this is just a really feel-good topic, but it actually we get a better understanding of where your heart is, where you would love to be able to live if you weren't living in the United States, for instance, or Canada, or some of the other areas that we reach on a daily basis with Take Two. If you weren't living in your home country, where would you like to live? Where else would you choose to live? Now, Jerry said it so beautifully. Facebook is just a buzz with this, and so many of you have your favorite places that if you could, I guess, have the means and the money and the adventurous spirit to move to, you would do that. And we're going to share some of those. There's some fun ones, actually, that I think we'll all get a kick at it. But we want to hear from you, because Take Two is all about you. You drive the show. 1-800-585-9396. That's the number to call to tell us, where else would you choose to live? And tell us why. We want to know why. Now, I'm you know what? I'm going to save the country that I would, if I had if I won the lottery or something like that, Jerry, and I could just live there on the countryside, I'm going to save the country that I was going to pick for later, because so many of you are going to have a hard time guessing what the country I would pick.
No idea. No idea.
Okay. But you want to share yours, Jerry?
Well, I think ours might be somewhat the same. I obviously love living in the United States, but if I guess in an ideal world, I would love to live at least part of the time in Italy, in Rome, because the center of the church is there, and I've been there a couple times, and there's a saint buried on every street corner, and churches, and the deep history of the church, and so forth. But dear listeners, there are a lot of reasons why we wanted to have this conversation today. For example, some people just simply look around the world and they say, gee, that looks like it'd be kind of a great place to live. So they move there. Maybe work takes you or has taken you to another part of the world, or maybe you retired and you decided to live somewhere else. Maybe you were in the military and you saw a part of the world that you just said, gee, this would be awesome if I could live here sometime. Maybe you just feel really deeply rooted right where you are for family reasons, personal reasons. Maybe it's where your people are from and you just say, hey, nope, I'd be content just staying right here. 1-800-585-9396 gets you on the program today, or you can text the letters EWTN to 55000. Be careful, there might be that little data rate. That's possible anyway.
Yes, Jerry, you're correct. I would love to live in Italy, but more specifically, I would love to actually live in Sicily. I've relatives there, distant relatives there, and all I hear about is that's absolutely beautiful. And so I'll hopefully get to visit Sicily. I've never been to Sicily. I've been to Italy, but I would love to be able to go there, spend some time, and who knows? Maybe could I even dare to say retire there? I don't know. We'll see. But we want to hear from you. 1-800-585-9396. Where else would you choose to live and why? Keep in mind that you, like Jerry said, you may be so rooted here in the United States or Canada or wherever else you live that your family's there and you don't want to, you couldn't even imagine living anywhere else but where you are right now. And that's wonderful. That's a great place to be. But sometimes, you might see something on TV or you may have traveled to a distant land and you say, that would be really cool to spend a couple years there or maybe even retire there or something of that nature. We want to hear from you, and we want to know why. It really could absolutely shape our spiritual growth today and maybe walk away a little more grateful for where we are right now, or maybe us to be able to dream big and think about places we could go like Rome, the Vatican, or the Holy Land, or how about Fatima, or it's just so many places we could dream about. So call in 1-800-585-9396.
Well, and maybe you feel like this is a kind of a futile conversation because you don't feel like you would ever have that option. Well, maybe you wouldn't. Most of us, in fact, I don't know, Debbie, if there are statistics that show, but I would guess that the majority of people probably live much or most of their lives within a certain close geographical range to where they were born and were raised and grew up. But I'm thinking you and I, for example, were just recently in Alabama, and we got to go to the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament. And as we were driving along there, we were reminded that a lot of people actually have moved to that area, Hanceville, Alabama, and they did so when Mother Angelica was still living and to be close to the shrine and so forth. And so that is one example right there. I'm also thinking of Ave Maria, Florida.
That's right, yeah.
Tom Monahan started that community in Florida to make it a very Catholic-centric type of community, and many people have moved there. So there really are deep reasons and good spiritual reasons sometimes why we kind of look around and say, I think I might be better off, or life might be a little bit better there than it is here. So that's a question that we're asking people today.
Well, and some of our listeners may be familiar with Jesse Romero. Jesse Romero is a radio host, and he's just wonderful. And he moved from California to Arizona, Jerry, because he felt drawn to the Diocese of Phoenix and Bishop Olmsted. And he's found his home here with his wife, Anita, and the kids. And I'll tell you what, he's very happy. So you're right. You could be drawn to certain places for very specific reasons. We want to hear from you. There's an open phone line. It's got your name on it. The only thing you have to do is pick up that phone or pick up that cell phone and dial 1-800-585-9396.
Okay, 1-800-585-9396. We do have a couple of phone lines that are still available. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. Say a prayer for our producer, Rich Jesse, who's a little under the weather. Jeff Burson handles social media, is behind the controls today doing double duty, and Matt Gabensky is the one who's going to answer your phone call right now. If you had a choice, if you felt led by God to maybe move and live somewhere else, where might that be? 800-585-9396.
Hey guys, where were you when you had your deepest conversations about God and faith in life? Well, if you're like me, you were probably sitting up till all hours drinking coffee in an all-night diner with your best friends. Hi, I'm Deacon Jeff Drzymski, inviting you to relive that experience right here in the luxurious corner booth of the Catholic Cafe.
The Catholic Cafe, Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern and Sundays at 5 a.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio. Live truth, live Catholic.
Looking for a unique setting for spiritual renewal at a religious shrine so beautiful it had to be divinely inspired? And the world's largest religious media network? Start your Catholic pilgrimage today with EWTN. Call 205-271-2966.
Hello, I'm Doug Keck, and welcome to an EWTN Bookmark Brief. I just had the pleasure of interviewing Father Christopher Collins, S.J., on his new book, 3 Moments of the Day. You want to give us a synopsis of this book, Father?
It really is uncovering a way of praying in daily life, and marks 3 moments. The first being the morning offering, that desire to offer the whole day to the Lord no matter what happens, whether I'm succeeding or failing or whatever it is. I'm united to the heart of Christ. At the end of the day, to do a review, to do an examine of the day, say, how did that gift go in the course of the day? And then the third moment being the Eucharist itself, the liturgy itself, and how is it that that's kind of foundational for a way of thinking about all of our lives, our ordinary daily lives.
Well, we here at EWTN love the devotion to the Sacred Heart, so thank you so much. Speaking here with Father Christopher Collins. His book is 3 Moments of the Day. Look for the entire interview coming soon to EWTN, and check out the book at EWTNRC.com. And this has been another EWTN Bookmark Brief. Thanks for being with us.
This is John Martinoni, host of Open Line Monday.
Hello, this is Archbishop Charles J. Chaput, the Archbishop of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
This is Jerry Usher, co-host of Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Thanks for listening to the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
Where else would you choose to live and why? That's what we're talking about today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. And we're going to go first up to Tina, listening to EWTN Radio in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, on the app. Oh, wow. Tina, how is that app, the EWTN app? Is it good?
Fantastic.
Love it. Love it.
Hi,
Okay,
Jerry.
tell us the reason for your call.
First of all, I wanted to offer my condolences to Jerry.
Oh, thank you, Tina.
You're welcome. And I've been, so praying for her. And I offer, I've been so sick, and there's been a lot of emotional stuff going on right now. And I've just been offering it for her, so.
Thank you so much. We can really feel it,
Tina. And for a lot of
Tina.
other people, but mainly her.
Good. Well, I'll be
Anyways.
sure and keep you in prayer as well.
Thank you. Anyways, where I'd like to live is probably I'd like to live near Italy because I have a caregiver who has a mom who lives there, and we've never met. So I just want to go meet her. And also, I have sponsor children in the Philippines. So if I could, I would travel there too, because I'd like to meet them. And my other reason for Italy is just to be near the Pope and learn a lot about him and his ways and all of that. So I guess
Pretty cool.
that's it.
Well, Tina, you'll get a kick out of this. The majority of Facebook posts that are coming in have said Italy as well. So I got this great idea. Yeah, I got this great idea. We can all go together and have our own little community.
Yeah,
Right.
you know what, Debbie? You could cook us all pasta and we'd have fun. It would be great.
That's right. We could have a grand old time. What do you think, Jerry?
I think that'd be awesome. Tina, you sound like you just have a beautiful, beautiful spirit. You mentioned a caregiver. Is that someone who provides care to you, Tina?
Yeah, she's 24 hours. She lives with me.
Okay.
I can't do anything physically without her. As far as your daily stuff, like getting dressed, getting up,
Boy.
out the door, and if there wasn't 10 feet of snow right now. So I pretty much rely on her, so. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've got a great spirit in how you're handling that, Tina, and I'll tell you that is a great gift from God. We don't need to go into any further, the nature of what your illness might be, but just know that thank you first of all again for your prayers for Mary and offering what you have for her and for other people as well. And it sounds, Tina, like you really have realized, I think maybe the greatest gift that God has given you is a calling to be united with Him in offering whatever it is that you're going through on behalf of other people. It sounds like you have embraced that.
You know what, Jerry? You're very true because I have a spiritual director that I started with about 4 months ago. And he works in St. Peter's here in Calgary. He's an Anglican priest, and he is a son with a disability. And so we just hit it off right away, and I've been growing in the Spirit through him. And that's one of the things that we talked about is like, well, this one day I felt lost because I was like, where's my purpose? And he says, you know what? Your purpose is exactly what you're doing. And he's like, I'm like, what am I doing again? I just was like really having trouble. And he said exactly what you said, that you're a witness to other people. And by being that witness, you're making people stronger. So I just kind of like took that and it was like, okay, I just offer my life. My life isn't easy. It's no picnic in the park, but neither is anyone else's. So, excuse me. I just keep strengthened, and I feel a lot better. I think the last time I talked to you, I was pretty depressed, but I've been feeling better since. I've been getting a lot of guidance from you.
Well, you have a great perspective, Tina, and just the gentleness and loving concern in your heart comes through very, very loudly and clearly to our listeners, even though you're a little soft-spoken angel there. And Debbie and I are going to be a little bit selfish. I'm sure you've already been praying for us and for the show listeners, but if you would add us to your prayers, we'd appreciate that, and we promise you our daily prayers for you as well.
Thank you.
Okay, and Tina, I'll make you a little deal. If I'm in your area, I'll announce it on the radio show long in advance, so you can get in touch with us. I'll cook for you if I'm in your area. Okay?
Oh, sweet! Thanks, Debbie.
You got it. That's a deal. We'll have a great dinner together. All right, Tina. God bless you. You're awesome. Thank you for calling. Thanks for checking in, and please continue to check in from time to time. We'd love to hear from you. Okay?
God bless you all.
Thank you. God bless you.
Tina.
Thank you. Okay, Andrea, you're up next. You're listening to EWTN Radio, also on the app. Everybody's doing the app today. This is so cool. From California. Hi, Andrea. Welcome.
Hi, guys. How are you? I'm so really excited because this is my first time to speak English. That's testing me, and always listen to radio, but in Spanish. So right now I went to try in English, and I understand. I'm feel really happy. That's why I'm calling.
Good. Well, thank you for calling, Andrea.
So I think for me, I like to live here in California, but for me, it's more important to choose some place who people is around my family. Because when I think the people is a good influence to my family, it's okay if the house is already big or small, So that's why for me it's really important to who people is living around me and influence to my child and my family.
Yeah, that's an absolutely great reason, and one that we didn't mention at the start of the program. But Debbie, that's why a lot of people actually, especially more and more as the world kind of gets crazy, Andrea's pointing out a great issue here that really, especially when you're raising kids, you want to be in a place where they are going to not be exposed to too many negative influences, but really have a lot of positives around them.
Yeah, where they're going to thrive and flourish. I completely agree with you, Andrea. By the way, I just want to tell you that you said that this is your first call on radio in English. You speak English.
Yes.
Yeah, you speak English well, very, very well. I have to tell you, that is awesome. I can barely speak English, and now you speak 2 languages, right? Or do you speak more than 2 languages?
No, just Spanish and English. But and right now I think it's very good to speak the both language because my daughters have 6, 3, and 1 year, and I need to speak English because I know what the people are around my family. I need to understand everything, what she speaks, everything. So
Beautiful.
that's why.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, you're a great mom because here's what a lot of folks they'll pick areas of the country sometimes, and they're not even thinking about what impact it's going to have on their family. I'll be honest with you, I purposely chose the town that I live in Arizona, simply because it was a great place to raise a family. It was safe. The people around our neighborhood all watched out for one another. It was just a wholesome place to raise a family. And I think that is a wise, forward-thinking choice to think about raising kids in an environment that's going to be the best for them. Andrea, I agree with you.
Yeah, sometimes the material. So I think always the material, something are they gonna be passed, but the principal values and the people influence to your son or your daughter, they're gonna be remembered when they have a problem. Sometimes you can stay in the good place, like a rich or middle people, but when the people around you, it's not a good influence, your kids is going to be learn. Because, it's much better to be a good example to talk to every day. I can to tell my daughters, you have to respect. When in my house, I don't respect to my husband.
Yes. Andrea, you have made some great points, and we want to thank you for calling. And you have done a great job, as Debbie said, in learning English. And it's funny, I try and think and speak in Spanish whenever I can because I studied it while I was in college and in the seminary. And I know it's really important to be able to welcome people who maybe speak a different language. I wish I spoke multiple languages like you were suggesting earlier, Debbie. But Andrea, thank you so much, and God bless you. As Debbie said, you're a great mom. Thanks for calling. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. 1-800-585-9396. We're having a conversation today, maybe a little whimsical, a little imaginary perhaps, but not so much for some people. If you could choose to live wherever you wanted or somewhere other than where you are, where would that be and why? Are there family reasons, maybe parental reasons like Andrea had, spiritual reasons? 1-800-585-9396. We've got Greg next, driving through Kansas, listening to EWTN radio on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Greg. Welcome to Take Two.
Hey, how are you doing? Calling
Better now that you called.
I'm pointing out my wife's driving, but I'm riding with her.
Okay.
Down I-70 in Kansas, but we're from Anthem, Arizona, and semi-retired due to medical issues that I've had, but that medical issues have allowed us to both be very involved in ministries at St. Rose there in Anthem. As far as full-time retirement, we'll probably never go too far from St. Rose because we love the parish, and our grandchildren are all around there, and we have 4 under the age of 5. But the past year we bought an RV, and we started to hit the open road, and we love it. We're seeing a great deal of the country, and someday we see retirement as being on the road a lot more. We love church hopping, as we call it, going and seeing different churches in different cities and states. And you think that you have a corner on the Holy Spirit maybe in your parish, but when we get out to see other parishes, we're so inspired by that.
Wow.
Multiple choice.
Right.
Greg's answer is multiple choice. Where he would live.
Well, and Greg, I just wanted, for our listeners' sake, St. Rose in Anthem is in Arizona, and it's a great parish, great community. It's kind of a little bit halfway between the Valley and Prescott, Arizona, which is really kind of cool, Greg, because you can get the cool weather of the Valley during the wintertime, and you can get the really beautiful weather in the summer in Prescott. So you picked a good one with St. Rose and Anthem, Arizona. I think I would agree with you. That's kind of the best of both worlds. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, hold on one second, Greg. Yeah, we'll get a little bit more with you here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Don't go away. It's EWTN Radio.
We know you like listening to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio, but have you thought about bringing them to your next event? No matter what type of event you're hosting, parish mission, conference, or retreat, trust Jerry and Debbie to make it come alive. Begin the process today of taking your presentation to the next level of success. For information on booking Jerry and Debbie, visit take2show.com, click on the J&D logo.
As an EWTN media missionary, your task is to prayerfully take EWTN to your parish and community through the print and electronic media we provide. Visit EWTNmissionaries.com today and join us in sharing the eternal word with the world.
60 on 10 with Monsignor Charles Pope.
The fourth commandment, honor your father and your mother. This commandment enjoins on us young children not only obedience to their parents and even older children, great honor for them, but also gratitude for all of our elders, teachers, employers, and leaders. It also directs citizens to a proper love of our country. So it's a rich commandment. And it also puts great requirements on those who are in those positions to be worthy of the honor that is due them. This commandment is fundamentally given to us by God because without respect for our elders, there can be no teaching, and we cannot hand on the wisdom of previous generations. This commandment is rich, and it is for us. The fourth commandment, honor your father and your mother.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
Hello, this is Bishop Ronald Gaynor of the Diocese of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
This is Michael Warsaw, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of EWTN.
This is Father Mitch Pacwa. Thanks for listening to the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
Thanks for being with us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We're talking to Greg and his wife who are driving through Kansas. And Greg was talking about just kind of having that adventure and being on the open road and seeing different places. And Greg, you mentioned Anthem, Arizona. I misspoke just a little bit. I meant to say in Anthem, which is part of Maricopa County. It's the northern part of Phoenix, heading up to Prescott. What's great about Anthem is you get the nice warm weather in the winter, and you could head up north to Prescott about an hour and get the nice cool weather in the summer. Right, Greg?
Yeah, one of the reasons we selected is we're both from Kansas, which is mostly small towns, and since Anthem is a relatively new community, it was the closest we could find in the Phoenix metropolitan area to really have kind of a small town feel in a big city.
Right, exactly. Well, way to go. Way to go. Your neighbors, well, not close neighbors, but your neighbors, because I live in the valley, but I live in the Southeast Valley in Gilbert. So,
well,
but
I get on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I know. That's true. But Greg, way to go. I'm glad. That's kind of nice. So does your wife do you guys trade on and off who gets to drive, or does your wife get stuck driving the whole time?
Well, she gets stuck driving the majority. I broke my back, and I've been going through so many medical treatments. But as I get off them, we've been going on the RV, and in addition to seeing the churches, one of the things we started is we call it our RV ministry. And what that is we find, you put the awning out at your trailer or your motorhome, and people tend to congregate that are staying in other places, and then inevitably somebody comes up and says, I'm either Catholic or I'm ex-Catholic. And then they'll say, what do you guys do? And, well, we teach a Bible study, and we've done RCIA for, I don't know how many years, and we're both EMs, or she's an EM, and I'm a lector, and then a lot of people that were falling away Catholics, they start asking us questions. So it's a great chance to use some of the apologetics we've studied over the past few years to really correct some misbeliefs or maybe light a fire under people who are, waiting for a fire to be lit underneath them. So it's been really great going on the Lord. We pray every day. It's like, God, this is another new day. Thank you for it. It's so beautiful. And if you will, please put somebody in our path. And when you put them in our path, please send the Holy Spirit to put the words in our mouth that you'd like us to communicate to them.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
RV ministry.
I can picture you and your wife, Greg, with these little, the shoulder bags over your shoulder with the seeds, everywhere you go, you're just kind of tossing seeds out there. And one of these days, God's going to give you that big overall picture look behind and to see all the fruit, all the flowering of those seeds that have happened. So that's awesome, Greg. Keep up the great work and be safe. God's blessings and safety out there on the road.
Yes, and prayers for you, Greg, that your back heals.
Thank you so much. God bless both of you for the work you're doing.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you. Safe driving to your wife. Okay.
Yes, 1-800-585-9396. Luis on YouTube said, I'm just 20 years old and I would love to live in North Korea, Debbie. He says, where many people don't know God, so I can evangelize. I see that's a great motivation for wanting to live somewhere else, kind of a missionary spirit like Greg and his wife have.
But isn't it dangerous? Can't you? I thought you couldn't enter into North Korea with a Bible. I don't think you can. Can you?
Yeah, I don't know, but
I don't know.
Luis has that
has a passion.
Spirit. Yeah, that
spirit,
passion and that spirit.
Yeah, but you do have to check it out. You got to be safe though too when you're spreading the gospel message, because that could be pretty tough. But I do admire that adventurous spirit to be willing to do that. You're right. The whole world needs to hear the gospel message. So way to go, Luis. Okay, Teresa listening in Perrysburg, Ohio, to EWTN Radio on Annunciation Radio. Hi, Teresa. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. I feel a little sheepish listening to all these wonderful stories, and I'm just calling up to say where I'd love to live.
That's okay. We said it too.
Well, first of all, I have to say that I work for a small Catholic pilgrimage company, and we just did a pilgrimage to Sicily. And I do like the social media, and we run a virtual pilgrimage program so that everybody in the parish can kind of be involved in a way with the pilgrimage. And so I was fielding all these gorgeous pictures. I had never thought of Sicily, never ever. But it's so beautiful. So I hope you get there someday, Debbie.
Oh, thank you. See, you just confirmed the fact that I need to go. I hope my husband's listening to the show, Teresa. Maybe you can send me some of those pictures so I can.
Oh, I'd love to. I'll find your email.
Okay, I'll give you the email. It's take2, the number 2, at EWTN.com.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead.
So actually, me and my pilgrimage partner, even years before we started working together, we had kind of bonded because we had both picked out the same exact small little area in Italy that we had wanted to retire independently of each other. So it's the little valley below Assisi, Italy. I'm not sure if you've ever been blessed to go there, but I've been blessed to go there more times than I deserve. But it's Santa Maria degli Angeli, just below Assisi, and it's just lovely. And
yes.
I hope someday. I took my husband there on a honeymoon, and he loved it too. So now he's on my side.
Well, we hope you get there. I think that's pretty providential. Jerry, have you been to Assisi and the surrounding areas? Because I have. It's phenomenal.
I have not. No, I've been to Rome a couple of times, but have yet to get to that part of Italy.
Wow.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you get to go.
Hey, never know. Maybe we could do a pilgrimage or something, Jerry. That would be fun, don't you think?
Oh, sure,
fun.
absolutely.
Well, I happen to know someone, so.
Yeah, you do.
We'll
send us that email
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
All right.
You guys
Thanks,
have a
Teresa.
wonderful day.
Thank you too.
1-800-585-9396. We have room and time to get you on the program. Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. Today we're talking about sometimes we dream, we daydream. Sometimes those dreams become reality. Sometimes we actually do get to or have to move to a different part of the state or the country or the world. If there was a place that kind of caught your fancy and you could live there if you wanted to or had to, maybe you had to relocate for work or something, give us a call. Share your take. Again, 1-800-585-9396. And on the EWTN Catholic Radio Facebook page, Angela said it would be Italy. I have many family there, and I would like to see some more where my parents came from. She said it's Calabria.
Yeah, Calabria. No, Calabria.
And so much to see in Rome. She's been to Italy 3 times on a cruise ship and wants to visit family. And Jessica said, I can't ever imagine leaving Pennsylvania. But if I did, it would be Italy for sure.
Oh, way to go. We could have a great community. How cool would that be? I will say that, Jerry, and I think you would agree with this. Everywhere you turn in Italy, it is like a picture. It's very, very vibrant. The colors, the view of it. It just my eyes. It was almost overstimulation. That's how beautiful it was. What was that? Your take on it too, Jerry?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. The stimulation. I mean, just like I said earlier, there's a saint on every street corner and churches, and just beautiful, beautiful church history. Yeah, it's just way. It's too much to take in multiple lifetimes. let alone God bless those who get to live there and be there full time.
Right.
Okay, back to your calls. Mary in Massachusetts listening to EWTN Radio on the Station of the Cross. Hi, Mary. Welcome to Take Two. Hello, Mary.
Hello? This is
Hi
Mary.
there.
Mary.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, Jerry and Debbie. How are you?
Doing well, Mary. How are you?
Oh, my condolences about your sister, you, Jerry.
Thank you,
your
Mary,
sister.
so much. Appreciate that.
I'd like to live in Ireland. My family, it's all because of family. My family's scattered all over, kind of in the country here. And but I found my birth mom 4 years ago in Ireland, and and I found 4 cousins that I never knew of.
So you have family, your family's there, so that's what you're drawn to, Mary.
Right, and it's so beautiful over there. I'd always wanted to go over there. So, but I love, but I'm 68, so I'm retired, so I just like to be able to go to visit there again if I can. But my daughter, I have a daughter that lives in North Carolina, and it's lovely down there. And I have a brother that lives in Washington, D.C. And I did want to move out to Arizona. My daughter was out there, but she moved back this way to be closer. But then I have 2 cousins that live in New York State that are. When I found my mom, they're my Irish cousins, blood relations. So I wouldn't mind being near them.
You got family in a lot of different places, Mary. Have you had a chance to visit any or all of them where they are now?
Sometimes, not sometimes. No, I haven't met my 2 cousins. I could talk to them on the phone, and so I want to get together with them. But no, I just talk to them on the phone, and I get to see my grandchildren. I have 2. The other thing is, I have 2 young grandchildren with my daughter in North Carolina, but then I have 4 grandchildren that I just found last year from adoption, and they're scattered too, unfortunately. But one is in New Hampshire, and one of them is in doing time down in Florida. So I'd like to see him next year. And
wow,
so
you've got a lot to look forward to, Mary, and that's awesome that you have a lot of family all spread out. So, well, we're going to wish for you that you get to make those travels and those connections, and that you do get to go back at least to visit Ireland again. And Mary, I think you said 68 years old. You're young. That's 68 years young. Come on. I think about Jack. Mary, I think about Jack LaLanne. You remember Jack LaLanne?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Yeah, he was in his 90s and doing push-ups like the day before he died. So you're young. Think about that for a moment.
Yeah, God's blessed me with very good health, so that's why I want to travel before I don't have good health. But God gave me a miracle going out to Ireland. I actually won money, and that's how I was able to visit my cousins out there.
Nice.
So God's been very good to me. I'm very blessed.
Oh, that's fantastic. Mary, thank you. Thank you for sharing what you did today on the program. You got a beautiful heart, beautiful spirit, beautiful voice. Thank you so much, Mary. We do hope, as Debbie said, that you get that chance maybe to go to Ireland or elsewhere. And thanks so much for helping to make today's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie an even better program. We appreciate your call. And, Deb, we've had a couple calls earlier in the show, people listening to the EWTN app. And I just want to encourage everyone to get it. There are... how many apps do you think there are available in the world today? Probably millions.
Millions. They're everywhere.
Yeah, and when you think about the number of apps and the kinds of apps you could have on your phone, dear listeners, Just think, I have probably 20, 25. Isn't it amazing? It always comes down to those ones that you actually really are going to use. You find all these apps that sound really cool and can do all this great stuff, and you say, I got to get that, and I download it, and then about a year later, it's taking up room on my phone, so I get rid of it. But there's an app, folks, the EWTN app, which I use all the time, and I know a lot of people who do. You can take EWTN with you, not just radio, but TV, video on demand, EWTN News, prayers and devotionals. You get the free, full, Revised Standard Version Catholic Edition Bible in text, and then the Gospel of Mark in audio. And you can download the app at EWTN.com, and then a /Mark mobile, EWTN.com/mobile. Deb?
Okay, I just typed in how many apps are available currently. Okay, Jerry, you are so smart. 2.2 million.
Wow, that's a lot.
Wow.
How many of those are going to save your soul, right?
And how many can you hold on your phone before it crashes?
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Mariela, you are up next. You're listening to EWTN Radio in Tijuana, Mexico on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Mariela.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Love the show. I've been hearing it for a couple of years now. The EWTN everything shows I love. Anyways, I'm calling in concerning your subject, and just want to say, go for it. If you want to go live somewhere to get that enriching cultural experience, do it if you can. I lived in Rome for 3 years, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I was privileged to live in a house that was administered by some nuns of the Instituto Rabasco, and at the time they were the nuns that took care of Cardinal Caseroli. So I got to go to all the masses and all the events at the Vatican, and which is the best part for me of my experience, my Roman experience, and just walking around, and every street has a beautiful church, and that it's so enriching and spiritually. And next July, I've been saving up, and I've been studying German, and I'm going to go 6 months to live in Regensburg, Germany. It's in the Catholic part of German. It's quite a strong German Catholic town. It's a medieval town, and I'm looking forward to that, to enriching myself more and having new experiences in my life.
Yeah, Mariela, as you're talking, I'm reminded of some of the key points that you're making, and that is personal enrichment, spiritual enrichment. I know for me personally, earlier in my life, I was not as fond of being abroad, being traveling internationally and so forth. And as I've had opportunities to do that, it has been a great blessing in my life. And I've picked up so much from different cultures and languages and cuisines and the spiritualities of different parts of the world. And so, Debbie, I know you'd agree that is really one, I think, as Mariela said, if we have that opportunity to do that, we're just made better. We're just made better overall by those experiences.
And you just realize that we're all God's children. We're all one family, and it's just wonderful to do. Even where you're living at the moment, if you go to the market or the store or this and that, when you look at the people around you, surrounding you, it's just a world of experiences that they bring with them to enrich your life. If you let them in, if you open the door, and that's what I like about traveling.
Well, yeah, and Mariela, the other thing too is with Mass being what brings us together, whatever language it's spoken in, it does create that sense of family right away, and that's why so many people who are Catholic, when they travel all around the world, when they go into any church and to any Mass, they automatically feel at home. I think that is wonderful. Mariela, I just wanted to I thank you for encouraging all of us to take on that adventurous spirit. Excuse me, and do Excuse me, Jerry, I got a frog in my throat. Okay. And to do what you're doing is traveling. I have to tell you, I'm very much impressed. You said that you're going to learn German, and I just want to know, do you have any tips for the rest of us that are trying to learn a second language and finding it very difficult to do?
Well, this is my fourth language, and I decided to start learning German to stimulate my brain cells, to enrich myself intellectually and culturally. My teacher is from Germany.
Okay, so it's like an immersion type thing.
Yes, and just be patient. The language will come. The language will come. Just start with a small cassette tape or CD, and work up from that.
Right.
Go another Italian. Go eat Italian at Italian restaurants.
Yeah,
I do all the time. Go ahead, Jerry. What'd you say?
If you want to go to Sicily, you have to learn the dialect. I have some friends from Sicily, and it sounds a little bit like Italian, but it's a little bit different.
I totally understand. My parents are both Sicilian, 100%. My grandparents, and I'll tell you, they cut everything in Sicilian dialect. You cut everything, so you chop off the end of the word, and I guess they say it really quick. So I can totally relate. Go ahead.
Thanks,
Jerry.
Mariella, for the call. Appreciate that. Ann on Facebook, Catholic Radio, EWTN Catholic Radio, says she says, I would live nowhere else. She says, sorry, I lived in another country for 17 years, traveled to a few others. This is the best place to live. Ann, thanks for weighing in with that. And we had a text, it was a text from Kirk, who said, I too would choose to live in Italy, but I would opt for the island of Sardinia. I spent 3 great years there as a member of the U.S. Navy. Thanks, Kirk, for sharing that. And we've got Don now in Buffalo listening to EWTN Radio on the Station of the Cross. Don, you've been waiting a long time. We appreciate that. Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Gotta be kidding.
How you doing? Don.
Wow. You got me from WLOF?
Yep.
Wow, this is amazing. I think I'd even get on. This is fantastic.
Well, we're glad you did.
You're on, Don.
Wow, you guys are great. I really enjoy your show. I try to listen to you quite so much of the time, but like I say, I'm so sorry about your sister, Cherry. It was,
Thank you.
I lost a sister back in 07, and it was hard when my parents were still around at the time, and especially for my mom, it was just, tough. But we just move on, and they made out, and of course they're in heaven now too, and.
Well, what are their names, Don? Your parents and your sister. So we'll pray. We'll add them to our prayer book.
Oh, that's nice of you to do that. I know you do that for a lot for everybody who calls in. Yeah, Harold and Helen, for my folks.
Okay, and your sister?
Sister is Ann.
Okay.
With an E or no E?
Oh, no E.
No E. Okay, Don. Yeah. So where would you live, Don?
Well, it's so funny. You brought about Italy. Italy's great. It sounds like a great place for the Pope. With the Pope and so much going on there, and then of course Germany. That's where of course my ancestors are from. That would be nice too. But Australia, I thought about years ago. So I got like 3 choices, but I don't know. You think when you go to Australia, you have to learn different languages. But like I say, I'm 63 and retired, and I suppose, I think German would probably be really hard, but maybe not. But I suppose you'd be patient with things like that sometimes. But
have you been to Australia, Don?
No. That would be something to go there, but just stuff in your dreams. But you watch these programs on TV a lot of times and say, "Wow, it's just, just to see the sights, you kind of like to get there." But whatever. But.
Don, it's interesting you're saying Australia. I have to say that when I was a little kid, well, yeah, you'll get a kick out of this. When I was a little kid, I used to say to my mom all the time, I really want to go to Australia. And she never could really understand it. But then afterwards, when I got older, she goes, I need to tell you something. I said, okay. So, Mom, if you're listening, I did listen when you spoke to me. My mom would say when the larger family left Sicily and came for what we would call a better life, some went to New York, Ellis Island, some went to Argentina, and some of my distant family members went to Sydney, Australia, where they are today. And so Yeah, so I said, see, Mom, maybe we were destined to go to Australia instead, because for some reason, as a little kid, I was drawn to it. So I can kind of relate, Don. I hope you get to go there and visit. I have a couple friends that have been there several times and really, really love it. And you're right, it's easy because we speak the same language, but they have that really cool accent.
That's like
or maybe they think we do.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's so funny when you folks, you try just different parts of the country you go to. You kind of got to listen sometimes and say, "Oh, you mean it that way," or whatever. But I mean, that's so cool too. But just traveling around, a lot of the places in this country has just been fantastic too. I've been to, around 40 states so far, and I haven't been to Arizona yet. I'd like to get there sometime. There.
Well, come on, we've been waiting for you. Yeah.
One of me anyway, California. But I won't go all through all this stuff. But yeah, it's. We live in a good world, that's for sure.
We do.
It's just, I know it's changed so much in our lifetimes, with all what's going on, and it's scary at times. But I guess we got to just keep praying with to God and our Lord, and that things will get better because, so we can travel and be safer about things. It's just that's how I feel. I think you folks probably feel the same way, right?
Yep. For sure, Don. Thanks so much for your patience there again on the line, and thanks for being with us on the program today. We appreciate it so very, very much. Jane and Yvonne and Courtney and the others, this hour goes so very, very fast, and this was just a great conversation. Our deep and sincere apologies not being able to get you on the program, but if you want to keep the conversation going, you can definitely email us, take2@EWTN.com, or post on EWTN Catholic Radio on Facebook. And Debbie, we're going to shift gears tomorrow for the program, and our topic tomorrow, dear folks, is you're fired. Okay?
No,
yeah.
Don't say that.
Have you ever been told that you were no longer employed somewhere? Have you been let go from a job, or maybe this is the hard thing for me, or would be to let somebody go? Have you ever had to fire somebody, or maybe you were a manager and the boss said, "Hey, you go fire them,"
Yep.
And so we're going to talk about this sometimes very uncomfortable topic tomorrow and how it's helped to shape our lives, maybe drawing us closer to God.
Right, and how we approach it as Catholic Christians. So that's tomorrow's topic. Again, thank you so much. You did a great job on the show. You can also email us if you want to, take2, the number 2, @EWTN.com. Until tomorrow, have a beautiful and blessed day.